Another Hall of Fame Spotlight interview, our 2025 induction class this year, spanning the years from 1970 to 2010. And we're pleased to be joined from that class of 2010, Leann Ross Kelly. We might have a Ross wing in this Hall of Fame before it's all over with. Talk a little bit about this. We'll jump right into that. Third generation, of course, your dad and your grandfather, folks I knew very well. Talk a little bit about joining those guys in this particular Hall of Fame and what that means to you.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me. I'm really honored, and it's just something very, very special, especially to be alongside my dad and my grandpa. I mean, I called him Pappy, but my dad, Bill, and then my grandpa, Pappy Ross, to be the third generation. It's just, when I got the call, I had to take a moment because I was just like, wow, being one of the three in the Hall of Fame, it just means so much to me. And especially for me as a basketball player, I looked up to my dad so much, and I really hope to one day be as successful as he was on the court. And it's just pretty special to know that all that hard work paid off, and to be with them alongside them in this Hall of Fame is really, really special.
Leann Ross Kelly is our guest here from the class of 2010. And for the record, we called him Pappy as well. We were usually being chased down by where we were skipping school, but he was a little different for you. But speaking of the basketball part, I see that number 22 in your personal email. Is there an affinity for that number?
Oh, yes. 22 obviously was my dad's number, and it meant, and so when I played basketball, I had to have that number, right? So it's funny how it's carried on. I was 22 in middle school, high school. When I went to college, I was number 22. When I got married, I looked at the dates in the summer months of 2017, and what do you know, July 22nd was on a Saturday, so I was like, that's the date. That's the number we're going with. So 22 has stuck with me through my whole life, and it all started because it was on my dad's jersey. So
that's fantastic. So 2006 to 2010, those high school years, I want to hone in, and I'm going to ask you what your favorite sport is because we never, but I want to hone in on the transition from early years cross country or the speed, the 100-yard dash or whatever it was, into these specialty things that I'm so fascinated with, the high jump and the long jump. So at what point did you say, man, I could be really good at this?
Yeah, wow. High jump, the field of jumps in general, in track and field, I think I just kind of was just trying some new things, and I think they were looking for some people to fill some spots in those roles. And middle school, I think 8th grade, I tried high jump, and I was pretty good at that age for it. And then going into high school, Molly Schramm really helped me with the fundamentals of the jump, long jump and high jump. And year by year, I just kind of got better at it, and I never expected to be in the field events at all. So I think by the time I was a freshman, I was one of the best ones. And so we just kind of stuck with it. And once I actually learned how to do the jumps and not just kind of wing it, it was, I was able to kind of put those two and two together and be successful at especially high jump. And I never really was expecting the success, I guess, in the field events, but I'm really happy that I decided to go that route, and I'm really glad that Molly Schramm was my coach because she really helped me a lot to grow in those areas. And I had a great time. I had so much fun with it. So
one of the other things, I guess, and you were knocking down those records in the high jump and the long jump in throughout your years, and I can't imagine when I look up there and see some of the numbers you put up. But what about this relay? I didn't even know there was such a thing. So tell me a little bit about there's a long jump and a high jump relay?
Yeah, so you get your top three, I guess, athletes and the long jump and the high jump, and you put them together and you add up the totals. And we had, fortunately, in my class, and younger, there were some younger kids that did pretty well in it. And so, having me and two others all be pretty successful at it, pretty good. When we added our numbers up, we ended up winning and breaking the school record. And yeah, it's kind of funny because I at times forget that we even hold those records. But we had relay meets. So there would be specific track meets throughout the year, maybe like one or two that was just for relays. So that's when we would do the relays for the field events, which you don't normally see.
All right, that's fantastic. We're going to take a break. Our guest is Leann Ross Kelly, class of 2010, inductee into the 2025 Marietta High School Athletic Hall of Fame. We're going to talk hoops when we come back, and we'll be back right after this.
The Marietta High Tigers play on WMOA.
Johnny Wharff in a spotlight interview with Leann Ross Kelly. Wanted to transition to hoops. I'm still fascinated by your track numbers, but 1,000-point score plus. And in that one, I feel I watched your dad play and was fascinated with him, and did the same with you. So was that a lot of backyard shooting early on, or how'd that start?
Oh yeah, that started early on. I just took to basketball very early. I mean, I would say I was like 4 years old when I was playing in the YMC basketball league. But yeah, my dad and my sisters and we would be outside shooting hoops all the time, and I loved it. I mean, I never once felt like I was working, or never once felt like I was like, oh man, this is a lot. I'm always out here working on that. I just absolutely loved it. And my dad, no matter what, he'd be out there catching my shots for me, passing me the ball, teaching me the fundamentals. He had one of the best shots I've ever seen, and so I really wanted his shot, and so he helped me a lot. And it was just a lot of time and dedication, and a lot of hoops out in the backyard. And he was always there, and my mom and my sisters, they always supported me and they helped me. And so I just always remember we would have the back porch light on, and I'd be out there shooting hoops until real late, and my mom would be like, okay, Leann, it's time to come in now. But those were really great times, really great memories.
All right, Leann Ross Kelly is our guest, two-time Player of the Year in the SEOAL, three-time All-SEOAL, three-time first-team All-District, District 10 Player of the Year, those All-Ohio honors coming in, school game scoring record, all this cred. You've had a little swagger. I could see that. Did you feel that when you walked onto the floor?
Man, not really. And maybe I always wanted to be the best on any court I stepped on, definitely. So I held myself to a pretty high standard when it came to that. But when I think my dad taught me this from a really young age, to be very humble and not to, just go out there and take care of business. And so when I would see any articles or watch, people would say things or whatever, I kind of just always kept my mouth shut. But I definitely played with a chip on my shoulder. I definitely wanted to go out there and be the best on the court. So that internal, I had that internally within myself to be like, go out there and to be the best on the court. And I had a lot of help though. So it wasn't just me, it was definitely my teammates all around me that helped me get to that point. But it was just something in my mind, and I set goals for myself, and I really wanted to reach them. So yeah.
Did you like one sport better than another?
Yeah, basketball has always been my one, my favorite, my one true love. But I just, at the very end of it, I got a lot of offers for track and field to go to college. And for a second, I thought about it, but I knew that I wouldn't be as happy as I would be if I went to play basketball. So basketball is definitely my favorite.
Hey, Leann, so I mentioned you're the young gun in this class this year. Did you have a chance? I always like to ask people that played at such a high level in high school, and then college, as you mentioned, you recruited. So do you still have your hand in it, or have you done any, I see cross country or coached or anything like that?
Not really. What I did do was in college and a little bit after, I did train some girls individually. We go to the gym together, but I haven't actually coached a team yet. But I do have two small boys, and so I'm thinking maybe one day if they decide to play basketball, maybe I'll just kind of dabble in coaching them at a young age. But no, I haven't really went out there and coached at all. And I haven't really been playing either, as far as like 5-on-5 goes. But I do like to get out there and put some shots up.
You did. You were one of those girls that showed up on the intramural stuff. I remember there. Kathy Clark, and here she comes, going to play with the big boys down there, right? That's always fun to think about.
So fun. Yeah.
Right. Well, you still got that humble gene, so we appreciate you taking some time with us. We're looking forward to seeing you here and celebrating you on the 11th. Two-time Hall of Famer, Leann Ross Kelly. Thank you for your time and congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks so much.